The Australian sun beat down on carefree travellers, young adventurers eager to explore the vast outback. They came from all walks of life, drawn by the allure of the unknown. But for 7 souls, the adventure would end in the shadow of the Belanglo State Forest. They disappeared without a trace, swallowed whole by the harsh, unforgiving landscape. Their families and loved ones left grappling with the agonizing unknown. Hope dwindled with each passing day, replaced by a chilling fear. Something sinister lurked in the shadows of paradise. Caroline Clark and Joanne Walters, 2 British backpackers, vanished first. Their last known stop, a bustling Sydney hostel. Then, Australians James Clark and Deborah Everest disappeared, their meticulously planned itinerary ending abruptly. Months later, German backpackers Simone Schmidl, Gabor Neugebauer and Anja Habschied vanished, their vibrant spirits silenced. The disappearances sent shockwaves through Australia and beyond. A chilling question echoed, who or what was preying on these young souls? Ivan Milat, a name whispered with a mix of fear and disgust. He was an unassuming figure, blending into the rugged Australian landscape, but beneath his ordinary facade lurked a monster. Milat, a skilled road worker, knew the Belanglo State Forest like the back of his hand. He used this knowledge to his advantage, transforming the sprawling wilderness into his hunting ground. His weapon of choice? Charm. He would target young backpackers, often hitchhikers, offering them rides and companionship. His demeanor was disarming, putting his victims at ease. They readily accepted his offers, unaware of the darkness that lay ahead. Milat would lure them deep into the forest, far from prying eyes and the safety of civilization. There, amidst the towering eucalyptus trees and the deafening silence, their nightmares would begin. The breakthrough came in 1992, 5 years after the first victims vanished. 2 runners stumbled upon a gruesome discovery in the Belanglo State Forest. Partially buried beneath a thicket of leaves and dirt lay human remains, the skeletal remains of Caroline Clark and Joanne Walters. Their bodies bore the chilling hallmarks of a brutal and calculated killer. Panic gripped the nation as the horrifying truth began to dawn. The missing backpackers were not lost, they were murdered. The discovery sparked a massive police investigation. The Belanglo State Forest became a crime scene. Officers meticulously combed through the dense undergrowth, their every step heavy with the weight of expectation and dread. Soon more bodies were unearthed. James Clark and Deborah Everest, Simone Schmidl and Gabor Neugebauer. Their bodies too bore the same chilling signs of violence. The nation watched in horror as the full extent of the atrocities unfolded. The search for Anja Habschied continued, her fate tragically mirroring that of her companions. The investigation, dubbed Operation Air, zeroed in on Ivan Milat. He had a history of violence and a chilling familiarity with the Belanglo State Forest. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place. When police raided Milat's unassuming home in Eagle Vale, a suburb south of Sydney, they uncovered a treasure trove of damning evidence. The house, more akin to a macabre museum, held trophies of his heinous crimes. Backpacks belonging to the victims, camping gear, clothing, an arsenal of weapons including knives and firearms, and most chillingly, a rifle that matched the ballistics of the bullets recovered from the victims' bodies. The evidence was overwhelming, painting a grim picture of Milat's sadistic crimes. He was arrested and charged with 7 counts of murder. The trial of Ivan Milat transfixed Australia. The courtroom became a stage for a chilling display of depravity. Prosecutors meticulously laid out the case against Milat, presenting a mountain of forensic evidence and chilling witness testimonies. They recounted the horrors inflicted upon the victims, their voices heavy with sorrow and disgust. Milat, however, remained defiant. He maintained his innocence, a chilling smirk often playing on his lips. His arrogance and lack of remorse only solidified his image as a monster in the eyes of the public. The jury, however, was unswayed by Milat's denials. After weeks of harrowing testimony and overwhelming evidence, they delivered a unanimous verdict, guilty on all counts. The courtroom erupted in a mix of gasps and sobs. Justice had been served. but the scars of Milat's crimes ran deep. He had shattered the illusion of safety in the Australian outback, leaving an indelible mark on the national psyche. The judge, his face a mask of solemnity, sentenced Ivan Milat to 7 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. The sentence, the harshest ever handed down in Australia at the time, was met with sombre satisfaction by the families of the victims. Though nothing could bring back their loved ones, they found a sliver of solace in knowing that Milat would spend the rest of his days behind bars. His reign of terror had finally come to an end. Milat was transported to Goulburn Correctional Centre, a maximum security prison in New South Wales, to begin his life behind bars. He would spend the rest of his days in a cold concrete cell, haunted by the faces of his victims. The man who once instilled fear in the hearts of travellers was now reduced to a number, his name forever etched in the annals of Australia's most notorious criminals. Despite his conviction, a chilling question lingered. Had Ivan Milat claimed more victims? Rumours circulated of other unsolved disappearances, cases that bore the hallmarks of the backpacker murders. Had other unsuspecting souls fallen prey to Milat's charm and brutality? The families of other missing persons clung to the hope that their loved ones were still out there, lost but alive. But the haunting truth remained. The Australian outback held its secrets close. Milat himself fueled speculation, dropping cryptic hints about other murders. He taunted authorities with the promise of revealing more if they met his demands, but his words were shrouded in riddles and contradictions. Was he playing a twisted game, relishing in the fear and uncertainty he continued to sow? Or did the true extent of his crimes remain hidden, buried deep within the unforgiving Australian wilderness? The backpacker murders cast a long shadow over Australia. The case served as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of solo travellers, particularly in remote areas. The carefree image of the backpacking adventurer was forever tarnished, replaced by a sense of caution and unease. Travellers, once eager to explore the vast Australian outback, now did so with a heightened awareness of the potential dangers that lurked beneath the surface of paradise. The case also led to increased safety measures for travellers. Hostels implemented stricter security protocols, and information about the dangers of hitchhiking was widely disseminated. The Australian government launched campaigns to educate travellers about personal safety, urging them to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activity. The legacy of Ivan Milat lived on, not only in the memories of his victims, but also in the heightened awareness and precautions taken by those who dared to venture into the unknown. Ivan Milat died in prison in 2019, his secrets going with him to the grave. His death, while bringing a sense of closure, did little to ease the pain of the victims' families. The scars of his crimes remained, a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of humanity. The Belanglo State Forest, once a place of natural beauty, became synonymous with his evil deeds. The backpacker murders serve as a chilling reminder of the importance of vigilance, personal safety, and the fragility of life. They highlight the vulnerability of travellers and the potential dangers that can lurk in even the most idyllic of settings. The legacy of Ivan Milat, the backpacker killer, will forever be etched in the annals of criminal history, a cautionary tale that continues to send shivers down the spines of travellers and locals alike.